And here we go. I'm going to try editing this video too and putting a couple of the short ones together, so if it doesn't work out, totally my fault. I'm learning here. So now we are turning right into Oakmont, onto Oakmont Avenue, and of course the neighborhood sign always gets stolen. So they started taking them down and then not putting them up, and now I don't even think there's a civic club to put one back up. But since Sue was here, all these apartments, they're no longer rentals unless they're single rentals. They all went condo and all sold, and since they've done that, the apartments have basically straightened out and cleaned themselves up. The neighborhood's a lot nicer than it used to be. So now I'm just, the neighborhood's almost like a horseshoe. So I just took a right at the stop sign, and we are going down Elm Avenue. Here's Hickory. And Sue, I'll go by your old house, which was back there to the right. We're coming up on the Wakefield house, Norma Shellhammer's house, the Hazudas, Doug and Shirley, Ann and Butch, Claudia and Jim. Claudia's recently passed away. The Silvers house, Juanette's house is on the left, and our old backyard is right here to the left. They're still working on the house. And Wendy lived in one of these houses. I think it's this one right here, but I'm honestly not 100% certain. I don't think it's any secret how I felt about her. She was whacked out. And here's Mom and Dad's old house. Try and get a better view of it. It's hard to see just because of the shading, but during one of the hurricanes years ago, a bunch of the branches fell out of these old oak trees and took out a bunch of the fencing. It killed off some of the wisteria I had planted, but some of it stayed. The stair banisters that Steve put up, I can't remember if it was right before or right after Dad died, honestly, but they still stand. I'd say the baby's breath bush got a lot bigger, as did the magnolia tree. There's Juanette's house up on the right. Yeah, the house just looks weird. Fred Yeager still lives there from what I understand. And I think I'd let y'all know that Mr. Gene passed away. Jackie Nolan's been gone for many, many years. Miss Joanne is still here. And this is the other end of the street, where of course nothing's been built. So we're basically just going around in a circle. We're going to come up here and take a left on the back side of the apartments, and I'll go through Sue and show you your old house. Which honestly, I still miss you being down here. It was so much fun just to run over there and hang out with you guys. And just like when I lived close to Steve, I think I ate at your house most of the time anyway, when I wasn't working. And the house on the left, which we just passed, that's where the naked man used to come out at Halloween. And we weren't allowed to go to his house anymore. And up on the right is a lady that stole our cat once. And Mama found out who she was, and I don't know what Mama said, but we got our kitten back really, really fast. And this house right here is one of the ones that Paddles used to run to when he'd get out the front door. They used to have a chain link fence. Only they had a couple of really big dogs that didn't like Paddles, and Paddles didn't like other dogs. So he'd run up to the fence and hike his leg and start peeing all over the place. And of course, I was always the one that Dad would send out running after the dog, and I don't know how many times those big dogs almost bit my head off. But I'd go through it all over again if I could have that little dog back. He was the coolest little thing. That's the same dog that pulled out Brandon's tooth. And we're almost at Sue's old house, the little duplex. And this is the little neighborhood they added after, many years after ours was built, actually. And Sue's duplex is, we're just passing it now. And I'm going to turn left so you can see the half that you lived in, Susie. And it actually looks like it might be empty. So I'm going to pull in here for a second. This is it. It's changed a little bit, not a whole lot. They've enclosed the porch a little bit more. Just because I remember bringing Paddles over and him always trying to walk through the screen because he was mostly blind by then. And you could tell that they've put some boards up to cover that a little bit better. But it's just this spot right here is peaceful, still peaceful. So now we're going to go through this very new part of the neighborhood, which runs behind Shirley and Doug's house and Ann and Butch's house. It's actually parallel to Elm Avenue. It's a cute little neighborhood back here. You see all the beautiful oak trees. That's the one thing I can say about this neighborhood is they did keep a lot of the big trees. And they also planted a lot of new ones too. They did a good job of it. And I honestly wouldn't mind living back here. And if I go straight back, it's going to come up on the creeks where we used to go shark's tooth hunting. Which I used to get in trouble when we went back there. Baron never did. But back then we called it the ditch or the canal, but it was actually part of Eagle Creek. It still is. That flooded and took out several homes in Tranquil Acres the last time we had really, really bad rains. Came close to flooding my house too. Got within 6 feet of my front door. And well, I forgot I was going to make some short videos and put them together. And obviously I didn't do that. God, this is the first time I've been back in here this far. This is really pretty. I don't know if these townhomes are for sale or for rent. I might, just out of being nosy, I might have to check it out. But anyway, that's it. Love you, Sue. As you can tell, I did not go back to bed. My head started hurting and I can't lay down right now. But anyway, I love you bunches, and I'll talk to you this week. Bye.